Microchips implanted in human bodies could transform the way we tackle many everyday tasks. Some workers in Sweden are already developing and volunteering to have chips injected into their hands. The technology can make some tasks easier and reduce the amount of personal items employees need to carry. John Blackstone looks at the controversial trend and how it could put your privacy at risk.
In a Stockholm business complex, employees gain access not with key cards, but with a wave of a hand.
This is something that you can use just like a key badge.
At a recent tech conference, Hannes Sjöblad explained how a microchip implanted in his hand makes his life easier. It replaces all the keys and cards that used to clutter his pockets.
I use this many times a day. For example, to unlock my smartphone, to open the door to my office.
Sjöblad calls himself a biohacker.
We biohackers, we think that the human body is a good start, but there is certainly room for improvement.
The first step in that improvement is getting a microchip about the size of a grain of rice slipped under the skin. Suddenly, the touch of a hand is enough to tell the office printer, this is an authorized user.
It felt pretty scary, but at the same time it felt very modern.
The microchips are radio frequency identification tags, the same technology widely used in things like key cards. The chips have been implanted in animals for years to help identify lost pets. Now the technology is moving to humans. A tech startup called Dangerous Things has sold tens of thousands of implant kits for humans, some to tech companies in Europe. Sjöblad even organizes implant parties where people can bond over getting chipped together.
I love gadgets, and now I kind of feel like I'm a gadget myself.
Even a car door can be tweaked to open with a touch, but each touch leaves a digital footprint, and that can compromise privacy.
It also seems to be one thing if retailers can track me on my phone to see if they can get me to buy some socks or underwear. It's a different thing if my employer can see where I am, see what I'm doing when I'm off the job.
This is serious stuff. We're talking about a nonstop potential connection to my body. I can't turn it off. I can't put it away. It's in me. That's a big problem.
Even a dedicated biohacker has concerns.
It's very easy to hack a chip implant. So my advice is don't put your life secrets on a chip implant.
Somebody put an implant inside me. I found it this morning.
Back in 2004, the Manchurian Candidate suggested a future where humans are chipped and controlled. We have been warned.
It's about educating the people and giving every person the tools, not only how to use the technology, but more importantly, when it's being used against you.
But biohackers also predict the next generation of chips will save lives by monitoring health and fitness. For now, being chipped means never having to say you're sorry you forgot your key card. For CBS This Morning, John Blackstone, San Francisco.
I'm fascinated by this. I've always thought it was the future, that it would carry your medical records, that it could track your fitness, that you could buy your groceries with it. Right, like an Apple Pay or something.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical. I'm scared of becoming a cyborg, but if you guys go first, I'll join you.
Pinched a little bit, not bad at all, though.
It takes just a few seconds, and Tony Danner is standing at a new frontier in technology.
It feels pretty amazing. It's excited about where we can take this technology.
The chip in his hand allows him to start his car, open doors, log onto his computer, and buy snacks in the break room at Wisconsin-based 3 Square Market, all with just a swipe of his hand.
I scan it at the kiosk. It comes up on the kiosk. And then to finalize your payment, you'll put your RFID chip.
The company specializes in payment systems for workplace snack bars. But having fielded inquiries from central banks and embassies to create security systems, it's quickly realizing the applications are limitless.
If you come back in a month, you'll be able to go to my house, and basically when I scan my hand at my door, the lights will turn on that I want to come on, and AC/DC will start up with Hell's Bells.
Microchip implants have been around for some time. Jason Bourne's journey to discover his identity 15 years ago began after this chip was dug out of his back. But not everyone is knocked out by this Swedish technology.
So my concern just is with the health effect. What's going to happen to my body when I'm putting this foreign object into my hand and down the road?
And the company recognizes there are privacy concerns. For example, potentially tracking employees when they take breaks. These particular encrypted models can't track you, though they ultimately could.
There is just as much interest from parents with young kids that want to be able to implant their children with a GPS chip. And it might shock some of you to know how many people have contacted us regarding that.
50 out of the company's 85 employees have signed up as it begins to expand the commercial possibilities.
Now, if like me you're wondering how much pain is involved in this whole process, well, there's only one way to find out. Okay, Andy? That's quite sharp. It's burning a little bit, but I've never had my ear pierced, but I have given blood plenty of times, and it's about the same feeling as when a needle goes into your arm to give blood. These chips are around $300, so while I feel like I've increased my self-worth a little bit, I really have to decide now if I want to be part of this brave new world. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Wisconsin.
Last year, Wisconsin-based company 3 Square Market announced its plans to install Rfid Microchips in its employees. The implants can be used to scan into the office building, to purchase food at work, and to log into the computers there.
CEO Todd Westby is back with us to talk about how the program is going so far. So, Todd, what's it been like? How many of your employees at this point have chosen to have the chip implanted, and how many do you have to go?
Yes, to date we have 196 employees, and 92 of them are chipped to this day.
And what's it been like in terms of their experience? Has anybody said, I want this thing out of me, or when they leave, do they have to get it out?
We've had one employee that's left that had it removed. However, the vast majority of our employees absolutely love the conveniences that having this chip in their hand really brings to them.
I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, Todd, but why not a badge? Why do you have to implant a piece of equipment into people?
If it can be lost, it will be lost. And the very first day that I had this done, I actually had a late night interview, and I forgot my ID card. And I thought, I got a chip in my hand. And when I showed up at work, I scanned my hand and I was let in the front door. So it's really a huge convenience factor that the employees seem to like with it.
It's very small. I've got a grain of rice in my hand, which I'm told approximates the size of these chips. So I kind of get that. But, you know, we all carry around our phones these days. We don't really lose those too often. Why not just have people use their phone for this kind of thing?
Because this is much more convenient. You can do a lot more really with this than you can your phone, as far as I can log into my computer with this, which I do every day. I can log into my phone with it. I can pay for items if I forgot my credit card or my phone. I can log into work. This is the actual size of the chip. I don't know if you can see that, but it is the size of a grain of rice, literally.
Yeah, I actually went with the actual grain of rice here, but
we're going to shove it into David's rib.
Looks roughly the same. I just wonder, you haven't gotten any pushback at all on this, Todd, at this point? I mean, people are happy to have this. Are they afraid you're tracking them beyond work?
No, we have had, some normal pushback, which comes with anything you do. However, what we've really done with this, I think, is you see a lot of discussion now about implants and how they can, take your heartbeat, get your blood glucose levels. You see Amazon just hiring a top-notch doctor. You see Walmart filing for patents on this. What we've really done is sort of made it acceptable, or brought it in the forefront where people are now talking about it and looking at the benefits that it can do for a person.
So do you have sort of this objective to expand the capabilities or services attached to this, or to kind of market this as a product, or is it really just kind of adding convenience for people there?
We did this, honestly, initially just for fun because that's what a technology company does. And often when you start with something, you end with something completely different. And that's the case here. We started with a simple little chip, and now it's evolved into a whole nother business, which we're in development right now of an actual chip that will be powered by the human body, the heat, and it'll have GPS tracking capabilities along with voice recognition.
10 seconds. How easy is it to get out?
Basically, you just puncture your hand with a needle, and you can push it right out the same hole.
Elon Musk has developed electric cars with Tesla and sent rockets to space and back with SpaceX. But now he's taking on what may be the real final frontier.
We can do a full brain-machine interface,
combining man and machine with a new technology dubbed Neuralink, which would allow data to be transmitted between humans and computers. Here's how it works. An array of tiny threads, only a tenth as big as a human hair, embedded with thousands of electrodes, is inserted into the brain by a robotic device. The threads are connected to a chip that transmits back and forth to an external receiver.
The interface to the chip is wireless, so you have no wires poking out of your head. Very, very important. So it's basically Bluetooth to your phone.
Musk says Neuralink may help the human brain cure diseases and even reverse paralysis. Eventually, it could be used to connect with external devices.
With a high bandwidth brain-machine interface, I think we can actually go along for the ride. And we can effectively have the option of merging with AI. I think this is extremely important.
Neuralink claims the devices have been successfully implanted in rats and at least one monkey who is able to control a computer with its brain. The company hopes to implant the first Neuralink into a human patient by the end of the year. Analysts worry this technology could have unforeseen negative impacts.
We aren't aware yet that the technology has gone in reverse, meaning that you can use some sort of external force to implant thoughts or something else inside of the brain. There are, like with anything else, there are downsides. Think about a hacker getting into a brain interface. That's one. Think about government control of people's brains, controlling what they think. Things like that are obviously a concern.
From Star Wars to the Terminator, science fiction has long dreamt of merging humans with technology. But with rapidly evolving robots and artificial intelligence,
hello, everyone. I'm an English artificial intelligence anchor.
What was once fiction is quickly becoming fact. As this technology evolves, the question may be, can we merge man and machine without losing some of our humanity? Jim Spellman, CGTN, Washington.